Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the online class of business studies. Today, we will be continuing with the topic retail, mail order retailing. In this topic, we will be going to learn the topic how we will be doing the business through mail order. Earlier, this business was in a big way. It was running, especially books business was going with the mail order retailing business. Mail order retailing, students, when we talk, it is that type of business in which the seller of the product will be selling the mail to the various retailers and other customers, so that whosoever will be interested in the product purchase, they will be sending the mail to the person for getting the product. They will make the order placement through the way of the mail, so that why it is known as mail order retailing business. Mail order retailing sellers contact the potential buyers through advertisements and mail publicity, that is by sending circulars, catalogs, price lists, samples, booklets, etc. The customers are required to place their orders by post. This type of arrangement is called shopping by post by customers and selling by post by sellers. Main features of mail order houses or steps in operation of mail order houses are as follows. Very first, a detailed mailing list containing names and address of the potential customers is maintained by the mail order house. So that is a very first feature, that is mail order houses are step in, so that we can continue with the name and address of the potential customers. They can make the detailed mailing list about the information of about the ordered books. The seller sends circulars, catalogs, etc. to customer by post. The customer also place order by selecting the goods from the catalog by the post. See here, student, the better example of this particular two lines I can give. The books are the best example of this mail order retailing business, because many of the books like Varanasi and Mathura areas, it is published Hindi books especially, and various other literature books. It is very the good books are there. So from there, if any person want to get the books in their own place here, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, they can make mail order retailing. So for that, first of all, the person from Varanasi, they will be sending to different states the books what there are available, and when the people want to demand the goods, they will be making order through the mail only. Means by the post they can send the details. Generally, only standardized items are bought and sold through mail order house, as inspection of goods is not possible. Payment is received through VPP or registered post. Advantages, merits of mail order post business. When we say advantages of mail order business are as follows. Very first, limited capital. In mail order retailing business, the retailer need not maintain a showroom or a shop. There is no need for investment in shop, display and stock of goods. It can be started with limited capital. Convenience way, if we see, shopping becomes very easy and convenient through mail order business. The customer can make purchases from his own house. He need not waste time and money in going to the market. Next thing, wider market. The seller can reach a large number of customers located in different parts of the country by sending a catalogs, list, etc. to those customers by post. There is no geographical limit of market in mail order business. He can sell throughout the world wherever the postal facilities are available. So that is the good point about mail order business. That is, it is having wider market. As I said, if the books are good published in the Varanasi and the Mathura areas, that books can be ordered by every other states where there is a demand of that good. So there is a wider market. It is not sold in that particular place only where the goods are made. No bad debts is there. Definitely all the transaction mail order business is done on the cash basis. No credit transactions are done. So here no bad debts remains, as all the transaction take place in the cash way. In mail order retailing, goods are sent through VPP or goods are delivered only by receiving payment. So there are very few chances of bad debts. Elimination of middleman. When we say under manufacturing and type and departmental type of mail order business houses, the middleman can be avoided and cost of product can be reduced. Result oriented advertising is done. The success or failure of mail order retailing depends on advertisements. The effectiveness of the advertisement can easily be evaluated by the response received from the customers. So that is the good point about the mail order business, students. Once again, I want to recall the advantages, merits of mail order business. When we talk about advantages of mail order houses, there are as follows. Very first, limited capital is there. Has capital is not too much required for running this type of business. stock don't have to be maintained in the shops, as it is done only through the way of post. Convenience, definitely it is convenient for both buyer and seller to do the selling as well as buying of the product, because it is done through the mail order. So here it is convenient through mail order. We can order the books, magazines, many things from different parts of the country, corners of the country. Wider market, when we see student, the seller can reach a large number of customers located in different parts of the country by sending what catalogs, list, etc. to those customers by post, and there is no geographical limit of market. No bad debts. When we talk students, in mail order retailing, what is there? Goods are sent through VPP, or so goods are delivered only by receiving payments. So there is a good point that there is no bad debt, as there is no credit sales, so no bad debts are there. Next comes elimination of middleman. Under manufacturing type and departmental type of mail order houses, the middleman can be avoided and cost of product can be reduced. And result oriented advertising point of view, when we see the success or failure of mail order retailing depends on advertisements. Effectiveness of the advertisement can easily be evaluated by the response received from the customers. Disadvantages, limitations, when we see students, the drawbacks of mail order retailing business are as follows. There is no personal contact. There is no face-to-face contact or interaction between the buyer and seller. So many customers do not have confidence in this type of trading. No personal inspection is there. The buyer do not have the opportunity of inspecting the goods physically. Without physical inspection, the customers hesitate to place the orders. So there is no personal inspection between the buyer and that the buyer can make inspection of the goods before purchasing it. So that is another drawback there. Sometimes it can be fault in the particular product which they ordered. Limited variety, definitely here variety is not variant, because mail order retailing is suitable for sale of a limited variety of goods. Bulky items, perishable items and items requiring demonstration cannot be sold through mail order business. Next is suitable for educated customers only. Definitely mail order houses can approach only those customers who can read and write. In India, where a large number of people are uneducated, there is limited scope for mail order retailing business. Postal delay, when we say the mail order retailing has great dependence on the postal department. There are chances of undue delay, spoilage of goods in transit. Heavy advertising costs. In mail order retailing, demand can be created only by advertisement. They have to spend a huge amount of funds on advertisements. Outdated catalogs. Sometimes it happens the catalogs which they are sending, it is outdated, it is not the product now, it is not available. That can be there in that particular type of, that is another drawback of mail order business. Next is chances of cheating. Definitely students, here when we say the product, sometimes the quality, we cannot inspect the product before purchasing it, so chances are there the fraud can be done. Dishonest traders may cheat customers through mail order business. They may collect advance payment and fail to deliver the goods. So that are the various disadvantages. Let us recall once again the disadvantages also. When we say about the disadvantages, limitations of mail order retailing business, very first says there is no personal contact between the buyer and seller. They don't know who is the seller and who is the buyer of the product. No personal inspection is there. Here not knowing it doesn't means no name and address. It will be going to the person, but physically the person is not known to the buyer, is not known to the seller, and seller is not known to the buyer. No personal inspection. Definitely in this type of business where the placement of order is done through the post, inspection of the goods cannot be done. It will be directly delivered to the place of arrival. Limited variety. Definitely this type of business doesn't carries a large variety of product. There will be having limited variety of product for sale. Suitable for educated customers only. As it is postal way, we are sending making the orders, and mail, through mails we can make the order of the goods. So here what is needed, people must know to how to email or how to post. So that is another drawback of this particular mail order retailing business. Next is postal delay. When we say postal delays, very fact is there. In this point we have learned that when we talk about postal delay, it happens there many of the times that whatever thing we want to get, it can be reached in the later period of time. Parcels are delivered late, sometime earlier. Heavy advertising cost. Definitely this type of traders have to do heavy advertisement from all over the country so that their sale of the goods can be done. Outdated catalog, students, when we say definitely this type of catalog, sometimes it happens what the product we are ordering, it is outdated. Chances of cheating, some of the time we can see that dishonest traders may cheat customers through mail order business. They may collect advance payment and fail to deliver the goods. Goods suitable for mail order business. Let us check out what are the goods which we can get through the mail order business. Very first, goods should not be perishable in nature, easily get destroyed, like sweets and every type of things. Snacks, this type of things, if it cannot, it is perishable in nature. Snacks, you can say it is not perishable, but some of the time if it is not delivered in the given time, it can be perishable, it can be, so it comes in a category of perishable. Groceries come, crockeries come when comes, it is also a perishable item, so it cannot be delivered. Non-perishable items only can be done in this type of business. Good should be standardized product. What is a good should be standardized product? Some standard, branded, some standard must be maintained, quality standard must be there, then only the people will order the goods. They cannot order the local product. So goods which we are selling through the way of mail order business, they must have some standardized quality. Good should not be bulky. Good should be easy to handle. Good should be easily explained through pictures and descriptions. Should be branded product. Common goods sold through mail order retailing are books, artificial jewelry, pens, toys, watches, etc. Automatic vending machine, when we see student, a vending machine is a new form of direct retailing. It is a machine operated by coins or tokens. The buyer inserts a coin or token in the machine. You had seen like weight machines now coming, that is also you can say that it is a automatic vending machine there. Like coffee machine is there, some of the place, so soda is sold through this type of automatic vending machine. This type of machine generally what is there, when you put a coin in that machine, you will get the product from the another part of the machine. So that is automatic vending machine, students. It is just like the ATM, automatic teller machine, ATMs. Automatic vending machine is there which will sell the product when we put the coins in the particular machine. A vending machine is a new form of direct retailing. It is a machine operated by coins or tokens. The buyer inserts a coin or token in the machine and receives a specific quantity of product from the machine. Large scale retailing is possible through vending machines by placing the machine at a convenient location such as petrol pumps, railway stations, airports, etc. This method of retail selling is very popular in Western countries. Now these are becoming popular in India also. Has it captured the India? Many of the offices are having this retail machine. Vending machines are used to sell pre-packed and low-cost products of mass consumption. Example: soft drinks, cigarettes, postal stamps, tickets, etc. In Delhi now vending machines are installed at petrol pumps, railway stations for selling cold drinks, etc. Mother Dairy is selling milk through vending machine. Automatic teller machine, card machines are also very popular. ATM, as I already said, ATM is that machine in which you are just putting the card and you can get receive the cash which you want to get. Some of the ATMs are there in which you can do the savings also. You can submit the money there, deposit the money there. Various benefits of vending machine is that they are the seller, physical appearance of the seller is not required. The machine can automatically do the selling of the product. Buying round the clock is possible if product is available in the machine. The customer gets fresh supply of goods with uniform weight and quality. No requirement of salesman, as I already stated in the first line. Drawbacks of vending machines are also there. Initial investment to install the machine is quite high. Machine requires regular repair and maintenance. Coins of exact shape and size are required to operate the machine. Otherwise, it will not be inserted inside the machine. In India, vending machines are not very popular due to a large number of retail stores. But I can say now it become popular in that type of multinational companies where the employees are working in a big number. They can get the coffee, whatever drinks they want, they can get through this vending machine. Now the next topic is Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Students, when we say Chamber of Commerce and Industry, this is that particular part of the business where, as you know, business is not having any type of rules and regulations, but it is operating under the law, constitution. So whether the business is operating under the law, whether there is a problem of the businessman, what the problem the businessman is facing to do the business, state-wise what the demand is of the seller, that all the problems of the seller is handled by one association which is made. A group of persons association is made who will be representing the business of their state in front of the government, and that is known as Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So Chamber of Commerce and Industry are voluntary and non-profit organization for all types of businessmen operating in a particular territory for the protection of interest of businessmen in general, and that territory is particular. In simple words, we can say Chamber of Commerce is a representative body of businessmen represent the business community of a particular region, irrespective of a particular industry or trade. The composition and formation of a Chamber of Commerce differs from country to country. In India, every major state has its own Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Example, Delhi Chamber of Commerce, Bengal Chamber of Commerce, Punjab Chamber of Commerce, etc. Many chambers of commerce are affiliated to the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. When we talk about functions of Chamber of Commerce and Industry, student representing business community, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry act as a representative of the business community in front of the government, communities and conference. It makes the government aware of problems of businessmen. Acting as spokesman, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry acts as a spokesman by giving suggestion to amend and alter legislation in favor of businessmen. Settling disputes, this is another function of Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Whatever the problems faced by the businessman and the government, this is settled by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. They try to settle dispute among various industrialists and the traders. Setting code of conduct. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry sets some code of conduct as business is not having any type of rules and regulations. So they set some ethics related to code of conduct of businessmen by standardizing and improving trade practices so that businessmen can maintain the quality of the product and can sell the product at reasonable price, and the fair justice will be done with the customers. Providing facilities for education and research. This is also the duty of the Chamber of Commerce to make them aware, the business working in their area, there must be awareness and education related to the new way of working, latest development in the field of business. Arranging seminars, etc. for all the type of business peoples. They are conducting some, this association is conducting some seminars so that they can make the people more aware about the new way of working. So Chamber of Commerce arranges lectures, conferences, seminars, etc. for exchanges views between the members. Next come providing classified information. Some Chamber of Commerce maintain statistical bureau for providing classified information to members, providing certified or certificate of origin. After conducting examination and research, the Chamber of Commerce provides certificate of origin to an exporter, which is an important export document. Role of Chamber of Commerce and Industry we will be going to learn in the next part of the chapter. Today's class this much only. In that class I will also revise from the back fixed scale retailers. From there I will be giving one revision as well as these topics I will be going to cover, so that our internal trade chapter will be going to complete in a good way. Thank you and have a nice day.